In Photoshop, you can use selections to create all kinds of images. How to get a selection? Well, I can go over here to Select menu and I can load the selection, and I can use the transparency that I've got here already. So load selection, and you can see I've got transparency. So if I click that, click OK, you've got that. Another option, if you haven't got that, is to go to Select and down to Select Subject, and that will select that. Yes. And it's obviously going to be the same. But what you can also do is you can store this selection away. So if you want, just go here to the Channels panel. You can find that in the Window menu. Go down the bottom and you've got a couple of options here, and you can click here, the second one. So click there and that will create an alpha channel. And this alpha channel, if you select it, and select like that, and you can see the result there. You can also go up here and you've got channel options. So if you want to change the name, etc., you can change that. But you can also go back to RGB and you've now got that selection. But you can also modify that selection. You can move the selection as well. But let's go to Select and down here to Modify. And you can go for feather, border, all those sort of things. But I'm just going to go for feather. And I'm going to go for, say, 60. Click OK. So now I've got a slightly more blurry selection. But also I can again go to the Channels panel and go down here and I can store it. So I just click here or save it, and you can see there you've got your alpha channel, alpha 2. Again, you can rename that if you want. But also, so select and deselect. So now I haven't got a selection at all. I'm just going to use a gradient. You could use brush strokes, you could use other images, you can use all kinds of different effects, maybe blur the image. But I'm just going to go with the gradient, classic gradient, and apply a gradient like this. And I'm using blend mode of difference, so you can see it creates a weird negative effect. And I can apply it a couple of times and you can create all kinds of unusual designs. But also I can go to filter and blur and Gaussian blur, as well as other filters, of course. Click OK. But what I can also do is I can bring in the alpha. So I'll just go down here and I can click here. That's the result of that. And with that, I can now click here. So this one, and I've got the selection back again. And I can now use this selection, fill it with a gradient. So again, just go over here to the gradient tool and apply. But I want to go to RGB. Don't want to apply it to the alpha 1. So go back again, click there to RGB and apply the gradient again. And you can see you can create a variety of different designs just to that selection. But also you can go here to image and maybe auto tone and so on. Again, you can go to select and deselect. You can also just leave it, that selection. You can add to it, and you can add to it using the alpha 2. Well, obviously it's at the same location, so I don't really want to do that. But you can go over here and you've got these rectangular elliptical. But with that, you can move that selection. So you can decide, you know what, I want that positioned here. So I can apply gradient or brush strokes or an image, anything to that. And you can apply it and you can create sort of design like that. Again, you could use different blending modes, different colours as well for the gradient. There's obviously lots of different options that are available. You can also move it again. So again, go over here, select that and reposition it, say there. Again, gradient tool and apply gradient. Now you can also go to select and deselect, maybe apply some additional effects. But you can also select and reselect. So I've got that selection back again. Now I can bring in the alpha 2, so you can combine it. So I want that to be added. I can go over here to select and down to load selection. So load selection. With load selection, instead of alpha, I don't want that one. I want the alpha 2, which was the feather blurry one. So alpha 2, so you can select that. Now that could be added as a new selection, so it just replace this one. But also I can add to the selection. So click there and now add to selection. You could do subtract, etc. as well. But now when I click OK, you've got that selection, that blurry one, as well as the sharp one that I just moved. So with that, you can also, of course, again, apply a gradient to that. And again, select and deselect. And you can see you can create a variety of different designs using those selections, all stored away over here in the channels panel. So the channel panel is one of the most useful features of Photoshop. Really great way of storing lots of information, not just for just the red or the green or the blue, but also for storing selections. And they can be combined in millions and millions of different ways. Again, go back to RGB and continue to work with the design. If you've got any questions, please let me know in the comments below. Thank you much.